right. So how did y'all enjoy that episode?
Oh, I enjoyed the conversation immensely. And again, Dr. Tina, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because
breath. That was
yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was tough. You know what I
That's
want to
good.
say? What I really want to say is I have two good kids. And you know what? One is just different from me and my perspective, and they have a different perspective. And that was what was difficult for me. Hence the tension, because we were not alike in any kind of way. We don't think alike in any kind of way. And I think you should go that road, and they think they should go this road, and that's where the contention is. But different doesn't necessarily mean bad.
Yeah.
No, it
They're
doesn't.
exciting. When they're different, it's exciting.
Well, and you know,
I have to learn that.
For me, it is. It is. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I never
when they're
wanted.
adults, you see that, but when they're kids and they're different, that's challenging. You know what I mean?
It is, but I never wanted boring kids. So I can tell you that I got just what I asked for.
You know, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
My baby girl was different. My baby girl is.
Oh
different.
yeah,
She's different. And I cheated a little bit, Dr. Scott. I'm not a doctor at all, but I did take early childhood in school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my degree's in. So I was able to get that conversation with her, and I was like, what I don't even know how to communicate with you. What do I do? And she had some clear lines on how she wanted to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I thought, I almost cussed. I thought, what? You don't pay no bills? But that's the only way I got through it. I really thought I was going to lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like little things, like I would go, don't do this. And something about pointing in her face took her to a different level. So she didn't hear nothing I said.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
that's what I recognize about this generation. They don't tolerate the disrespect or what they consider to be disrespect. That sends them over.
Yes,
that's
like,
right.
you ain't been here long enough. Like,
So some things you say to them is be on ta-ta. So I'd be like, oh, okay, if I want you to hear me, I have to communicate like you like it, even though it's, look, I know it sounds bad, but if I want you to hear me, I might back up because I'm not scared of you, but I need you to hear me because I'm gonna come forward and knock you out in a minute.
Yes.
So you back up so you can hear me so I can knock you out.
And see, and you know what, with our generation, and just like you were saying, with our generation, our parents said it one way, we did it, and it wasn't that pushback. So when we thought that we could do it with them, there's that pushback. Like, where is this coming from? I know because you know I wouldn't dare do that to my mom, my dad, or say this to my mom, my dad. So it's just totally different.
But the doctor said it is the mutual respect for them.
Yes.
Like we respect our parents. That's why we ain't buck back.
Right.
But they saying, don't put your finger in my face because I wouldn't do that to you. And I'm going, of course you wouldn't. And she's going, then don't do it to me. Yeah. I'm going, yo.
But see, the respect that we had from our parents was that, for some of us, right, was that healthy fear, right? It's like the fear of God, right?
It was
healthy. I don't know if that was healthy. It was like I want to live.
You?
No, my fear was a healthy fear of my mother. See, I knew she was crazy, so just don't. And she was very liberal. Do you see what I mean? She was very liberal with us, but I still knew that there were certain things I just couldn't take her there because I just didn't want to see that side. So it wasn't even. I just wasn't trying it. But that could have been my personality too. Whereas my grandmother was a very, very, very strict woman. Everything was very black and white. There was no maybe. There were no shades of gray. Which is why my mother was the wild child and more liberal with her children. Oh. And so we just never really pushed the envelope like that, just because we didn't have to. Whereas she had to constantly push the envelope. So then I remembered that. And with my kids, I didn't want them to feel that way. But yeah, they still wasn't always happy. And I was okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Chauncey was my next door neighbor. And I had a mixture of my mom and my dad was so you know you just knew you didn't play. You just knew you did not play. I mean, one thing that my parents taught me, my father taught me to fight. I could fight really good because I used to fight all the time. My dad used to say, you can't fight everybody, Kim. You can't be out there fighting everybody. But that was for the street. You couldn't come in the house acting like that, because when you came in the house, you used to be petrified. Like, you're not gonna be acting like that. When I tell you to stop doing something, you better stop doing. I'm gonna say it once, and that's gonna be it. If you do that to your kids now, that is never going to work. They're gonna say, "What did you say?" You say, "Did you just say what did you say to me?"
It's different.
It's different. It's like we had to change everything.
But we do communicate better, Keisha. I will tell you, we communicate better since I listened to her, because I let her know, even though I'm gonna respect you with the finger thing, suck your teeth, I'm gonna knock you out. Like that's my thing, that's your thing. So we communicate, and so she knows, okay, I might not agree with it, but I better not suck my teeth because I'm gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
So I don't point, we have that community, but at first, Kim, tell her.
Yeah.
I was gonna give that child away.
Yeah, she I was
gonna give her away.
I love her because she has her spirit is going, she ain't gonna take no crap from nobody.
She's very clear on what she will accept and what she doesn't, and we taught them that, right? Ain't nobody disrespect you.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Don't worry about me. I'm grown. I got this. And they don't worry about nobody but themselves. That's what they do.
Well, because we tell them, you don't take anything, you think for yourself. And you do. I had that issue with my parents. That's what you taught me. But now that I'm utilizing it with you, you don't like it.
Yeah, you gotta be toothless, whatever you want to take.
Not so much the hitting, but but if you taught me to think for myself, now you're giving me advice. The biggest battle my mother and I had as an adult child was, you're giving me advice. And the fact that I'm an adult means that I cannot take that advice. So it should not be a pushback because I didn't do it. Because you weren't telling me to do it. You were suggesting that I could do it.
Well, anybody else got anything, last thing? Because I want to let Dr. Tina go. Go ahead, Keisha.
There was just one last question. And that's when you have two children, do you find that people kind of, with the first one, they kind of try to make all the decisions, and then the second one, they kind of let them be free, a little freer, because they kind of gone through the motion of the first?
I think they exhausted.
And
I think, like you said, Kimmy, that they're exhausted, they're tired. Like, because when you had that first child, if they fall, you having a heart attack. When you had a second child, they be like, all right, get on out, wipe that off. The more you have, the more to me. Now, that's not in every case, but I think sometimes when we have our first child, we really don't have a book, even though there's books on the shelves. But 9 times out of 10, we're not reading a book. We're going off of what we see, what people shared with us, and now we're trying it. And then after our first one, some of the mistakes that we saw that we made, we try to make it different in the second one, right? And maybe we're not as hard, or we may be harder. It depends. But I just think it's a learning curve that we all go through, right? And it's kind of hard, but I think each kid brings something different out in us.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't never lied.
I mean, I'm the actual youngest, and I would actually say I used to think that my parents was hard on me, but I guess once I got to like high school, they were so physically exhausted. They didn't know what the hell I was over there doing.
It's like, just come home safe. Don't hurt yourself.
Are you home, Kimmy?
Wait a minute, Kimmy, the youngest is 6. You know they was tired by then.
They was exhausted.
I don't even
All the house to see if she in the house. Is you there? I mean, did you report home this week, Kimmy? I mean, I'm there. Like, it used to be a trip, because at that point they used to go to their room, and I used to say, I used to say to my grandma, I wonder if they even know I'm in the house, because ain't nobody act like, do I get a dinner? What's going on?
Oh, Dr. Scott, Dr. Tina, do you have a website?
I do.
What's your church, and how do people get in touch with you?
Okay. My website is drtinascottlpc.com. I'm on social media at Dr. Tina Scott. My church is Transfiguration Baptist Church. But if you go to my website, everything is there. My direct contact number is 215-519-2531.
Awesome.
And this will be broadcast because we want people to see the after show, because we get to say what we thought of this episode. And this was great, y'all. So thank you, Dr. Tina, again.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So everybody have a wonderful night, and Till next Wednesday, we'll do it again.
All right. See you guys.
Good
Thanks
night.
again.
All
Bye-bye.
right, good night.
Thank you.